Okay guys, let's get some paint on this. I'll have all the colors listed for you. This is an approximate Van Gogh palette, and I'm going to do more of this sky than that sky, because I think this one's much cooler, so we're going to have some fun. I'm going to have to choose where the whites are going to be and the darks, so it'll be interesting. I think I might go through and get my outline here first, though. I think that would be a good place to start. And then maybe tomorrow I can get more paint on. All right, this is one of my nice brushes. I am washing them out every time after use. Just a cheap palette. I do have an expensive palette that I should probably bring out, but not quite sure where it is. Just like everything else, right? Where, oh where is my little palette at? Oh where can it be? Okay, well this seems like a dark color, right? Prussian blue? Watch what happens when you add this gorgeous color. This is definitely a Van Gogh color. See? Beautiful. All right, I'm putting you guys back on fast forward. And I'm gonna put some paint down. Hopefully this works out okay, right? We'll see what happens. Let's see, general rule, let's go darker on the outer edges. I'll bring some white in here on the inside. We're just varying the color. All of this color will get readjusted at a later time if it needs to be. I doubt that I'll get it down perfect the first time. I highly doubt that. But I do have a ton of texture on here, so maybe it will work out okay. He likes that aqua color here up in his skies. Right there. See that color? Had some practice with his color mixing techniques, haven't I? And just pull it through different areas. He kind of puts it in here and there. Okay, we're going to bring some more white in here. Now, I did take an extra long time to make sure that my texture was where I wanted it. So I might actually have a much easier time with this than I did the first time. And not quite ready to bring in that yellow yet. Here, I'll bring in this color. It's another one of his colors. See, he's just got tots of it. That's a little too intense, actually. Let's settle that here just a bit. Definitely one of his colors. I won't use a ton of, well, no, it's a nice dark gray blue. So we're going to pull that in over here. Pulling these dark colors through the bottoms. Good morning, artists. It's bright and early. It's May 3rd. I am still working on this guy. I've got a lot of color usage left to go to make it look anything remotely intense like this guy. But you do have to start out with your base. And so I actually think I'm doing pretty well as far as where it needs to go. I just need to really start pushing some darks and some lights. So, you know, just getting that base cover on there is super duper important. It's funny, this painting weighs, it's pretty heavy. But, okay, I'm gonna bring you back down to the table. Just thought I would check in and say hello, good morning. It's a beautiful day outside, and hopefully you are all well. Okay, to the table.
Special advisor to the Education Secretary, so... Your reputation precedes you, although we'll try not to believe everything we hear.
All I hear is noise.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's fucked. We're all fucked.
What are your thoughts on providing strategy for our many clients?
Be polite, engaged. Don't tell them what you're really thinking.
So, what do you think?
What do I think? Just breathe. I think of Mary. Breathe. No, message. Discipline. Loss of national identity. Clear. Stop it. Digestible. Loss of community. Simple. Independence. Message. Repeated over and over. God, you need to learn to be a different person. Social says by words, 90% of politicians frankly don't see the point of them. What the fuck?
Look, Miss Obama, who led the way on this, a liberal. Now these are who will decide the result. A Hearts versus heads and a disengaged middle. 34%.
Hi guys, okay, just thought I'd come in with a quick update of where I'm at and what I'm doing. I have the sky mostly done. I know you can't hear me very well over that, so let's just do this. Oh, that's pretty good actually. So I am looking here in the camera to, you know, kind of gauge, to get a different view on that sky where I need to adjust. Honestly, I keep adjusting and adjusting and adjusting, and until I start to work on the foreground more, that background will never be finished, the sky. So I work sky, mountains, field. I work background to foreground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and continue to Van Gogh the landscape. It's really a fun but very challenging process. I think I've been working on it since about 6 o'clock this morning. I think we're about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So even though I had the underpainting on, I've still been, you know, just trying to fine tune that. That's me and working with paint and this type of thing. I get very fastidious about it. So it's very hard for me to show you all the steps because, you know, it would take me hours to show you, you know, everything that I've done with it. You know, even this little guy here took me a long time to complete. So, I'll bring you down here and you can watch the first parts of it, or maybe I'll fast forward you through it again. Again, just using my heavy body acrylic paints. And we are going to really try to make some cool, fun shapes. Okay, we're just working through it. Bye. Hi guys, how's it going? Okay, so here was how far I got yesterday. And I've been working on a little bit more this morning. I keep putting my hands into wet paint right down there. So I've really worked on the middle ground, which I feel is pretty close to done now. And now I need to work on the foreground. So, I'm hoping that I can get this all done today. It's my goal. This will be my 4th day working on it. Yesterday I worked on it. I started at 6:30 in the morning and I think I ended at about 11 o'clock at night. I did take breaks in the middle, but it is taking me quite a bit of time. But when I paint, I take a lot of time because I just want to make sure that it's as good as I can make it. And so my goals for this episode, this section, now the image that I have is different from this image. The stencil that I had went in sun rays direction, and the image that I have goes this direction. So we're going to have to go with this because that's the way that the pattern is. And I'm going to change it from vines with all of the sticks to just a general field. So I've looked carefully at Vincent's, some of his field images. So if you look at this one, like through here, he does little lines, little lines, little lines. And then back here, he does less intense colors. And as he comes forward, he does more intense colors. He was very good at color theory. And then I think there was, you know, the church kind of shows it too. So there was, I think it was the movie Vincent and Theo, where it showed him doing a field, but then he was taking his finger and he was using it to paint. So maybe we'll just, you know, throw in some of that type of technique, working with our fingers. Why not? We got to do a little bit of everything, right? Okay, so I'm going to get back to it. Bye. Ozzy, you're biting my hand. Oz, I got your lip. Come here. Say hello. Say hello to everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh my good. Oh, you're so pretty. You're so handsome. Not when you do that, of course. Hey. Arr. Somebody wants to go play. He does not want to let me work. He wants to play. Ow! Grab your monkey. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, you big old slobber dog? Huh? Oh, no bites. No bites. Huh? You gonna go take a nap so I can work? Please? Crazy boy. Hi guys, how's it going? Stephanie Aune once again working on this painting. Driving me a little crazy. This is what, day 4 or possibly day 5 that I have been working on this. Now last night I had worked on it, and unfortunately this light does give us such a glare. Unfortunately it was feeling really muddy and overworked, and so I just went in with a brush of paint and just was like I like what happened. I was feeling a really strong line between the middle ground and the foreground, and that didn't feel right. And so now I think I have a better transition. But I'm going to need to go through and do some more work on this. Once again, more work. Once again, more work. Okay. But I'm going to have to be done with this soon. And I was chatting with Kat last night, and you know, she is always so much a touchstone for me, a grounder. You know, she's like, we see videos in 30 minutes and we expect art to be done in, you know, in 30 minutes to an hour, that we can, you know, just turn around and make something that quickly. And sometimes we can with our mixed media, but, and even with, you know, a fine art painting. But art takes longer than that, and that's okay. And that's good. It's good that you're putting your passion into something that's taking you days to complete. You know, I don't have time to do this, and this will be the last time probably that I get myself into this type of situation where I really want it to be right. You know, I mean, I made this guy work, and I definitely want to turn around, and this guy is close. It's close. It just needs here. Just again needs the foreground. So smaller brush strokes. Not really sure, but I'm gonna just keep working through it, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna persevere, and I'm gonna make it good and sellable, because right now it's not sellable. So and I'm not gonna waste all this time and not make something that's sellable, right? So and sellable for me, remember, I don't sell something unless I would buy it. So for me to make something sellable just means I'm going to make a piece of art that I love. And I can't quit until I do. So anyway, okay, hopefully next time you see me, I'll have a handle on it and I'll be done. Okay, bye. Hey guys, well, after an additional 3 hours and some serious readjustments, and probably a few more readjustments are going to be made, it's getting closer. It's getting closer to where I want it. I think I'm going to pull this across a little bit more. Maybe. That would help. Look at that right there. And then, yes, I am looking in the camera here, because sometimes seeing it from a different perspective does help you. So this trunk needs to be, what am I going to do here? This needs a little bit more work. Or maybe I'll just bring it out here a little bit more. I like what's happening with this quite a bit. I like these guys. They need a little bit more outline, and possibly, ooh, it's still a little bit wet, mostly dry. Maybe a little bit more of those guys back in here to really pull our eye in. This is, of course, my focal. So I'll probably need to take this color down here just a little bit and really make sure that I'm pushing the viewer into the background. So it's getting closer, but it's taking a good chunk of time for sure. But I love what's happening with it. Okay, we'll come back soon. Bye. Good evening, my amazing Patreons. Well, I just finished up the video for this guy, and then I realized I didn't really have a closing sequence whatsoever, so I just thought I would jump back on and let you see up close and personal the finished product. super up close and personal. Gotta love the iPhone. Now, you will notice that I went kind of quickly through this last part of it. Well, that was because truly I didn't record. I had already filled up half of my new iPhone with recording, and I was feeling very overwhelmed with the amount of video I was going to have to go through. And I knew that you were only going to get snippets and parts of it anyways, because there was no other way I was going to be able to keep it within a short time frame. So I just kind of stopped. But I was taking pictures along the way, so I put in a picture here and there so you could see the progress. It's been an incredible journey. Van Gogh, still one of my most favorite artists. His use of color, his intensity, his freedom. Those words don't really, the intensity and freedom, they don't really work together, but he had such, you know what I mean, right? Absolutely incredible. The color choices, I think he was very much so influenced by his environment. And the halos and the movement, you know, I think part of that, you know, over his 8 years of painting, at the very beginning he did the potato eaters. It is very drab and dark, and then a few years later when he goes to Paris to live with Theo, in Paris he met the Impressionists, and he was introduced to new colors, and he was also introduced to a new way of mixing color, which he's a post-impressionist, he wasn't an impressionist. So the post-impressionists, Van Gogh did, he knew Monet, he knew Manet, he knew all of the guys, but he was watching what they were doing and he was fascinated by it. Also during this time, tube paint became a thing. So that was part of what spurred Impressionism on, was that you could now easily carry your art supplies with you out into the field. Pretty cool, huh? So new colors were being invented, new colors were being mixed into the tubes. So, you know, he went through a lot of innovation and revelation while he was in Paris. Then when he went down to southern France, he was highly influenced by that really bright yellow countryside. He was all the time eating his lead paints. He was eating cadmiums. He was basically poisoning himself. He was drinking turpentine. And of course, he was, you know, drinking absinthe a lot. And so sadly, you know, he was definitely induced somewhat, wasn't always in his right mind. But wow, what an incredible artist. And I feel so happy that I chose to do this project and that I chose to really channel him, you know? I mean, let's see, there was one way where this worked out better. That one's pretty good that way. And this one's pretty cool this way too, here. Let's see, it doesn't work quite as well. But I love that it has worked out this well. So guys, thank you so much for being here and for your support. And please spread the word in any way that you can. We need to get more Patreons. You guys are my team. You're my support. You know, any review that you can leave would be great. Any comments that you can leave on the regular YouTube channels would be wonderful. Thank you so much, you guys. You are my rock. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Sorry. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. Love you guys. Bye.